It's time for Transport Line, the program that showcases the contributions of almost of transportation to the socio-economic growth and development of our country, Africa, and the rest of the world. Transport Line is being beamed to you from the Center of Excellence, the state of aquatic splendor, and Africa's second largest economy, Lagos. I am Shina Elegbede. Glad to know that you are keeping us company. Today, we're going to look at 3 years of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and transportation. So, to more or less x-ray these in terms of achievements and the challenges ahead, I have with me on set the Public Relations Officer of Working People for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Segun Esan is the PRO. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Happy to have me.
Segun, it's been about 3 years now and few months since, to start with, we had that important statement: fuel subsidy has been removed. And that was on May 29, 2023. So to start with, what has been your assessment of the achievement of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as regard road mode of transportation?
Well, thank you very much for that opening question. Without any attempt to paint any picture of exaggeration, let me say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has actually, achieved quite a lot in terms of, impacting on the, transport economy of the country through very good and very workable, policies. And to the best of my knowledge, for the very first time, because before his coming on the saddle, it has actually been the bane of the country not having a well-coordinated, transport policy. But when it came, he succeeded in changing the mantra by coming up with a national transport policy that, would dwell first on coordinating all the land transport, system, as well as, looking at how best the rail transport infrastructure can be developed, and even see deep sea, shores, seaports equally are not left out. So he has actually come with a very, very towering idea as to how best the transport economy of the country can actually be, grown, and is really coming with a lot of impacts and, successes. So I can say for free that he has actually broken the jinx that has existed in the, transport economy for so long, when we were not having a well-coordinated policy to, harness all of the modes of transportation we have in Nigeria. But right from when it came, and right from the very moment it removed the fuel subsidy, of course, people never really understood where it was heading. But shortly after then, we can now begin to see, some of the very beautiful derivatives coming, from virtually every aspect of the national economy. But for transport, which of course is the mainstay, is the backbone of any economy that aspires to grow, we cannot, run away from acknowledging the fact that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has really done quite substantially, successfully in, transport sector.
Yeah, thank you, Segun. Let's specifically separate the chaff from the grain.
Okay.
In the aspect of, we want to take the most one by one. And you just said it. Transportation is more or less first among equals. When you look at those parameters that really moves the socio-economic life of the people forward.
That's true.
And now, Like I said, fuel subsidy have been removed. There have been boomerang effects in that particular aspect. So, what, from your own perspective, as a spokesperson of working people for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what have they gained? What has call it the working people
United
for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Let's look at it from that realm before we extend it to the general citizenry in the country.
All right. Thank you very much. The Working People United is a movement of Nigerian workers that cuts across every nook and crevice of the country. We have as members the workers from the organized public sector, from the organized private sector, the artisans, and virtually everywhere you just can imagine, workers exist. That is where we draw membership. And our very monolithic concern as a Working People United for PBAT is to get involved in organizing grassroots support, as well as, advertising the much of what he has been able to achieve in terms of policy and turning around the country's, economy, so that we can, at the very tail end of our engagement, succeed in bringing about his second term emergence. Because for the past 3 years that he has been on the saddle, we have seen the much he has achieved. And for such that he has achieved to be, consolidated and really put in the proper perspective that will last a lifetime, we have it, in our consideration as an organization that is as a Working People United, that it requires yet another 4 years, to get all what he has actually been doing in proper perspective.
So, road mode of transportation, what has President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration achieved in the past 3 years? Let's know. And what has been the benefit to the ordinary Nigerians, not even united working people for him? We want to know.
Thank you. Let me start from the rail transport subsector.
No, we're talking about road now. Then
okay.
Before we move to rail.
Okay. Now, on road, you will be hearing about the coastal highway that is building from Lagos to Calabar, and many others like that. It is not invincible. It is what we can see. It is what is verifiable, and it is work in progress. Then, apart from that, if you look at the construction and repairs of road network going all around the country, like it has never happened under whatever administrations we've had in the past, you can always see that. In my locality, almost every now and then you see, earth movers filling the potholes, widening up the canal so that there won't be any incident of flood and all of that. So it is just everywhere. But majorly, we can talk of the, coastal, highway and many others, which, of course, we can attest to as being part of what this present administration should take, a credit.
Now, you mentioned the coastal highway, which is now known as Tinubu Highway.
Yeah.
What are the benefits of this coastal highway, Tinubu Coastal Highway, to the Nigerians along that corridor?
So many benefits. One, it is going to bring about, job opportunities.
How?
Then, of course, people will get employed, because it's like opening up a stretch of a place for human activities to start, springing up on. We would definitely have a very sharp, increase in, engagement in job opportunities here and there. Then, apart from that, it's going to bring about stronger national integration, because this is a road network that is, connecting not just a part of the country, but starting from one point and connecting to the other. So there will be some kind of national integration. Then apart from that, it creates and brings about, a free and more or less very cost-effective, transport, mode for the commuting public. Then apart from that, it comes with a lot of convenience and comfort. When you travel on such kind of road, you just confirm the fact that it is quite very comfortable, very convenient, and quite safe. Apart from so many other, derivatives that it stands to bring to the working people.
From the realm of transport line, we know that a lot has been done as regards CNG.
Okay.
The conversion, electric car is there. We know about many roads being constructed across the senatorial district, the 6 in Nigeria. And we know the benefit. But the but is this. Despite all this, especially when you are the spokesperson for Working People United for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a lot has been done by Mr. President to provide accessory for conversion of inter and intra commercial buses from petrol to
CNG,
composed natural gas. Ditto, we have some electric buses. What has the average worker derived from this?
So many. One, it has brought about ease of mobility, ease of transportation. Then it has cured our environment, because when you look at the kind of transport means we have, that is depending on the petrol and all of that, they impact negatively on the environment. But with the advent of CNG buses, that is compressed natural gas buses or vehicles, it has brought about some level of good and clean environmental health. Then apart from that, it has brought about safety and convenience of mobility. Then apart from that, we are equally looking at the advantage of mass mobility it has brought. It carries the passengers in large quantity and avails them the opportunity to get to wherever they're going, in very good time, because the road network is there. The buses, now transforming from what it used to be to CNG, equally creates employment, because virtually everywhere you can see where you can do the filling of your CNG here and there. So that has equally impacted on, bringing about some job opportunities for Nigerian people. But for the, commuting public, it is, in fact, a very, very welcome, outcome, which gives them the beautiful, convenient means of moving from one point to another.
Segun, you as the PRO of this group, what has been your relationship with the National Union of Road Transport Workers as regards the prices, fares being charged for inter and intra commercial buses, especially those that have been converted through the grace of the federal government? As such, if I take my car to any CNG garage now, aside if it has been certified that it's still okay to be converted, at least I will need to have 1.3 million naira for the conversion. Yes,
true.
But all these are being given gratis to members of the National Road Union Transport Workers. Despite that, you take a commercial bus from here to Mowe or Areku, or from here to Ibadan, Oshogbo or Kano, and other parts of the country where these buses have been converted, courtesy of the federal government, and yet they still maintain the status quo as regards the prices being charged. So what are you people doing?
Thank you very much. Actually, you are hitting the right chord, because Working People United is not just only to propagate the successes of the government, but equally to, intervene where necessary in a way that the citizenry, eventually end up having improved livability. Now, as that, we are actually engaging the leadership of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, just like we do with all other very important, trade unions all across the federation. But more importantly, you have just said it, and I think it is Nigerian factor. When you have the opportunity to shoot your fares up and next to the ceiling, and if things get normal, you don't want to come down. So we are actually engaging them, and I think quite sooner than later the result will be out, because we are really talking with the leadership of the union, and in the direction of how best they can come and demonstrate their input in such a way that the impact of the policy of the federal government in that aspect, as concerned bringing the fares down, will manifest. First of all, acknowledge the fact that railway is doing well as a subsector, but the truth remains that we cannot all completely, probably up to a 0 degree, avert some mishaps, just like we recorded. But the truth of the matter is that, like most of what we recorded in the railway can probably be attributed to, vandalization of the track and stuff like that. And that is where we advocate, and we keep on reiterating the need for the introduction of safety measures that are technology based. When you build a track and you are running trains on it, there should be accompanying security, surveillance, technology based gadgets that should be coming along with it. And I think the management of the corporation is looking in that direction, and honestly, compared to what used to happen before, there has been a very, very significant drop in train mishaps that can be attributed to vandalization. But the truth still remains that a lot still need to be done, because the track traverses through lonely terrains, and there will be need for constant security and safety measures to be applied along that route. But the truth of the matter is that there isn't any two other way about it. The federal government, as they are planning, development of the rail transport, they should do that together with how they can secure lives and property, as well as, the environment. And this is why we keep on saying, as you put the railway in proper perspective, you don't just rest on your oars until you are sure that security is there, safety is there, and that need be done, coming from the background of technology-based, surveillance and the security measures, so that when train moves, in fact, if there's anything that is going to happen in about 5 kilometers away from where that train is, we are in a moment where we have a lot of, technologies that will tell you ahead of time what is happening or what is going to happen in the front, and you quickly take good care of it. If you look at what is happening in advanced countries, we don't have such. So apart from that, we still equally need to do a lot of advocacy, talking to members of the public, engaging the host communities, and telling them the importance of protecting the rail transport assets within their domain. Because these people that vandalize the train, the rail track, they don't come from the moon. They come from communities. They come from within the country. And this is why it is going to really yield a lot of advantages if, host communities are engaged, the chieftaincy, holders are equally engaged and taught the right thing as to how to protect rail transport access within their, their host communities. I think I should, at this point, mention that not quite a month ago, precisely on the 25th of May, we had our first summit in Abuja, and it was you know him, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, that actually represented the president.
That's the chief of staff.
Yeah, the chief of staff of the president. They actually represented him in that summit. And in that summit, we got really exclusively concerned with discussing all the policies so far that has come from the stable of Mr. President, and equally considering how far it has positively impacted on the citizenry and where they need to put some more effort. But honestly, so far it's been a successful one for that matter, because after the summit, we came out with a very instructive position, which has since been communicated to the federal government. And that confirms the fact that we don't just, stay out there canvassing grassroots support. We're equally getting feedback. In fact, we are just like the door in between that sees the inside and the outside. We report back to the president the successes. We report where they need to put some more effort and strike some good balance. And as far as the inland waterways development is concerned, I think the government is really trying. Quite a number of deep sea ports going on here and there. We have it in Lagos here, in Badagry. We have it in the eastern part of the country, like Bakassi, and a number of other places. So the aspect of safety, I think we need to be taken more seriously. You have raised it, and it is quite really very germane that we equally talk in that regard. And definitely the government will get the feedback from us. And as far as the inland waterways development is concerned, I think the government is really trying. Quite a number of deep sea ports going on here and there. We have it in Lagos here, in Badagry. We have it in the eastern part of the country, like Bakassi, and a number of other places. So the aspect of safety, I think we need to be taken more seriously.
Segun Esan, I thank you for coming on board on the program.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure having you. That's all we're going to talk about today. Next week is another time on Transport Line. Two issues at least very germane: insecurity and compassion to your fellow human being. That way we have a better society. Till next time, bye bye for now.